Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds, hanging out with these nerds.
Nathan Nerdarch.
Nerdarch is Ted.
And it's time to do the thing.
The thing. All the things.
Yeah, so we got a bunch of cool stuff going on today. We have a bunch of giveaways to do. You know, we did our 50,000 giveaway. We have a legendary bundle from D&D Beyond to give away. So one lucky winner is going to get that. Hey, and if you already have it, it's okay. You can gift it to somebody else. So at some point, we're going to say who the winner is for that.
A big thank you to Curse for sponsoring that giveaway.
Yes, Curse, D&D Beyond. Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it. You guys are awesome. We love the product.
Use it all the time.
Use it all the time. We also have our regular monthly giveaway. The 50K giveaway was open to anyone. All you had to do was fill out the Gleam thing, and we pulled a name from there.
We did.
And then for our other giveaway, which you're automatically entered if you just happen to be a patron for $1 or more, or if you send in the special fill out form that you mail to us or whatever, something on our website. There's a thing. There's a place.
There's a
somewhere.
thing.
There's a link for it. We swear.
Yeah, well, it's right in the menu bar under contests on the website.
You fill out the form. You mail it to our PO box. I look at it. I enter you into the thing. Add up all the people, pull the random number generator, and voila! And we pick the winner. Names written down.
Yeah. So what are we giving away this month?
All right. So we have a battle mat. I'm not taking it out this time because it was too much of a hassle. But it is a decent sized battle mat. It is double sided, squares on both sides. You got the parchment color on one side, white on the other. You can use dry erase markers on it. It comes with a dry erase marker, so you don't need to go buy your own. It comes with a set of dice. And we got decks of cards to give away.
Ooh, that looks like a deck of many card thing.
So this is the Deck of Many Things art deck. The Game Master's Toolbox treasure deck for challenge 1 through 4. And Bill Webb's Deck of Dirty Tricks. So all of that is going to go to one lucky winner.
Who is the battle mat by?
I don't have that name off the top of my head, but
I knew you were going to screw that up. I just knew it.
It was all a test.
I have failed.
Doug Stack, get us that name. Are you in the chat? He is in the chat. I know, because I know we've seen it on Amazon. I know we've shared it plenty other times. Fat Zebra for the battle mat. I love you, Doug.
But he contacted us. He said, hey, can I send you guys a battle mat to give away? And he actually sent one for us to use at our table and one to give away,
which was super sweet. Which we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So we have some other things that are probably worth mentioning as well. Some of our writers have been working super hard to put together a Nerdarchy Discord. Now, I'm kind of old and grognardy, so I barely know how to use Discord. But Kenyatta, I'm probably saying your name wrong.
Kenyatta would be how I think it should be said. But
it's probably closer. And Nerdarchy Nubs have been working over there on that for a while, putting together cool things. And I think us three plus Doug, at the very least, have been emoji'd.
Yes. I think Nubs has as well.
I've in the Nerdarchy author Facebook chat, I've seen discussions about it, but I honestly haven't even had a chance to go and look at it. I've been pretty busy with other behind the scenes stuff here.
The end of the year or beginning of the year, as the case may be, stuff is getting wrapped up. So Ted's been working on that, but there's links in the description so you can check that out. December we launched another product for 5e, and that's Fantastical Mounts. So if you want to add spice up your game with cool things to ride or fight,
down in the description there is a link to that if you want to go, purchase it, help out the channel, add some awesome stuff to your game.
Oh no, the instant invite is expired or invalid. No. All right, I'll have to figure that part out.
Oh, is that for Discord?
Yeah.
You have to click a box that says it'll never expire. The link will never expire. Otherwise, it only lasts a day.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would have been useful. We will get on that and get that fixed as soon as possible. In the meantime, maybe Doug can throw the link in the chat here so you guys can join that over there, and we'll be over there hanging out from time to time. I know Nate's already been exploring
Yeah, I'm familiar with Discord, so I was like, oh, we've got one now. That's great. So I hopped on over there.
I remember when I was trying to figure out some things on Fantasy Grounds, and found myself at the Fantasy Ground College Discord, and I think it's Mars Whip over there. Super helpful, cool dude. Was like, hey, I can help you with this, and next thing I know, we're in a chat or whatever, and I'm like, he's asking me questions like, do this on Discord. I'm like, look, the only thing I know less than Fantasy Grounds is Discord. All right.
Did you need a Discord college for your Fantasy Grounds?
Pretty much. Can you put it in something maybe analog so I can figure it out?
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Basically, you can develop different categories as somebody in charge of the Discord channel. So you can create different text channels and voice chat channels. So that's something that you could kind of ask if there was a particular one you wanted. Like I put a monster mashup discussion up there as one of the ones I've added. There's also like a general one that Kianata put up. They put up like a lot of the other stuff, and we're kind of augmenting them as time goes on. So it'll transform over time, but we're trying to get like straight and kind of like develop what's actually going to go on, and people are going to get used to using the different categories as time goes on. So once it all weeds itself out from being newly made, it'll be a lot more intuitive, I think, for someone who's familiar with Discord.
Unlike myself.
Dave's having problems with technology.
No, actually, I wanted to do a thing that I couldn't do from my phone, but I might be able to do here. All right.
Yes, Raven, Ken Grams. I heard they do taste good for dinner.
All right. So, Kenyatta, you've just been upgraded to a moderator. So if you actually happen to have the chat on hand or the link on hand, you can actually drop it in the chat yourself. So we'll do that. We'll also make sure we get it in. We'll get a good link into the description as well. I'll have to figure out how to do that. Oh, Doug's on it. Boom. They're doubling up. So there, you guys can go hang out on the Discord. You can do Nerdarchy all the time, everywhere, forever and ever.
Well, I mean, some of the fans come to the live chat just to chat. So
that would now, be the list. They're never going to go to any of our live chats again. They're just going to hang out in Discord now. We'll be like, why don't we get anybody on our live chats anymore?
They've all had their fill.
They're over on Discord. Elfbait, I'll never escape. Yeah, every once in a while we throw out the upgrades. We level people up, and we appreciate you guys helping out. It really, you guys make Nerdarchy what it is. Without, especially over on the website, without you guys over there, that would just be us throwing things in once in a while, not as well as written as they've been.
I'm guessing that this is in relation to the hanging out on Discord all the time. Elfbait says, "I'll never escape."
Yeah.
All the Nerdarchies.
Oh, Doug, at Nerdarchy now live chat is a pay-per-view event. Gotcha, suckers.
I like where you're thinking, Doug.
Only if we can do it in like a monster truck rally voice.
Sunday.
So me and you, we don't have any games going on this weekend.
No.
Nope.
I have my fan game for the month of December, which is now in January, I know. But I think Ted pushed yours into December, so I was like, oh, okay. Well, it was, end of the season, end of the year, so I pushed it.
Probably.
We're going to be playing, kind of like Who Stole Father Winter's Day. It's kind of similar to a electronic product we have, which is I think the Crinch, Who Stole Father Winter's Day, but it's a play on that as well as a few other things I've added.
You've created the sequel?
The sequel, yes.
Nice.
So I will actually be doing my fan game on the 28th of this month at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I got my list of...
Oh, you got names already. We are... Adam Ogre, you can always ask questions. There's a question before it so we can find it. And we'll absolutely take questions.
Jinker GM, thanks for the well wishes. My voice is, it's been like a month and a half. I've had this chest cold, so we'll see. Hopefully it'll go away soon. But thank you. Do you like the lower voice, by the way?
It's kind of sexy.
So Brandon Schwartz says, hey, I'm new DM running a game for 13 players, all playing evil characters. I need help creating NPCs and encounters as I throw 2 hill giants at them. when they were level 3, the giants were destroyed. Running a game for 13 players is incredibly challenging because it's going to be able to have the players are going to be able to do a lot of damage. But if you throw something that's got a lot of hit points, it's probably going to crush an individual player with one attack.
There's another thing that happens when you least expect it. Your players all roll horribly on initiative, and the monster rolls really well.
So
yeah, so
all tentacle monsters with at least 13 arms. Bam. Session done.
I would recommend using lots of small creatures.
And you can follow the minion rule.
You could also go that direction as well.
Fight an entire army of goblins.
13 evil players, though, or evil characters, I should say.
Engage fetal position.
Yeah, that's brutal. Do you want to read off your game? Who you've got selected?
Absolutely. So the list of players is we have Tenkin, Mike 1369, Daryl Lalonde, Jason Cropper, and Rick Vest. The alternates is actually Fantasy Grounds College, Dustin Ray, Sean Laurent Thomas, Christian Egger, and Jimmy Jones. So I will be contacting them. Say, hey, this is when I'm doing it.
Fantasy Grounds is definitely going to get back to you, college, and they're going to want you to run it in Fantasy Grounds.
Well, they're an alternate, so we'll see what happens. But
but we know how it really
I got
goes.
one person from my original group that time.
So generally what we do is we send the email out to everyone at the same time. And whether you're an alternate or you're in the game, just respond, because half the time
out of the 10, we get 3 at best.
yeah. So
I once had all five people from the initial 10 contacted me. 4 of them were originally players, and 1 alternate stepped up. They all locked in. They all played. It's fantastic. It was happened once in 2 years.
And this is a good point to bring up, is that if you're going to join the Nerdarchy newsletter and also the Nerdarchy, the what are we calling it? Okay, so the extra email about getting on the games list, you're going to want to put in a good email that you actually look at, because otherwise you're going to miss opportunities for playing games with us.
Yeah, we have 2 separate email lists, and one of them is the newsletter, and then that gives you a link to sign up for another email list, and we only use that second list to invite people to games. That's it. So if you're, so it's not like you're going, I give my email twice, I'm going to get a ton of emails. You're not. We do, when you first sign up, you get you might get 3 or 4 emails in a row, each day, possibly 2 on one day, depending. But after that, it is once a week.
And that's usually us giving you stuff anyway.
It's usually Sunday evenings is when the newsletter goes out.
Yes, when life is good. So it's not like we're going to inundate your mailbox. Also, if you want to whitelist Nerdarchy, also to help you get those emails as well. You also, if you have a promotions folder for depending on what kind of email account you have, check there, because sometimes they get bumped over there, because we use a service to do that. And those services always kind of get filtered more so than regular emails, but it's one of the few ways to do it.
So John Hodges wants to know, any plans to add a LFG channel on the Discord? Any idea?
Oh, looking for a game, looking for a group. That's something that can be added on. I
know somebody had said that they were trying to get games going on the Discord.
I think that's a good idea because it has voice chat, so you can make a group and voice chat through it if you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, if that's easier, if that works. Now, look, I'm going to say, because we didn't build the Discord channel. We are not working on it, but we're going to hang out there because Kenyatta and Nubs was nice enough to put that together for you guys to hang out. We're going to be visiting there, hanging out and stuff, but this is their baby, their creation, essentially. So so I'm not sure everything they have in mind, but Kenyatta said something special for patrons and all kinds of stuff's going on over there. I still have to meet with Kenyatta. We have to go over some things. But it's a good idea. It's cool. It's another way for us to connect with you guys and plug in. So we can pop in there for a little while, hang out.
Yeah. So as of right now, as Dave was saying, basically, if you message Gianetta or Nubs on the Discord channel, for Nerdarchy, that would be the best way to do it.
So we got a question from Adam Ogre Boatswain. I'm thinking about a monster BFF called the Grassy Knoll. And it's a knoll in the grasslands with a sentient fungus or living plant to live symbiotically. What creature would you suggest?
Well, it sounds like the plant creature is going to have to be made up or modified fast and dirty style, and without like the resources in front of me, because there isn't like a ton. Like you have blights and
well, there is sovereigns and other myconids can make basically spore slaves.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're called. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, it's a spore servant.
Spore servants. That's right. So you could look at what kind of template that gives somebody, and then kind of pick your creature based on that. So it's going to give them some benefits and some drawbacks.
So you could go just a spore servant knoll, and that would fulfill the criteria. But I think it's going to, in some cases, make the knoll stronger. In other cases, make it weaker because it's a plant.
Yeah, and if you just need it to like, oh, I need it today or tomorrow, I would just do that. But otherwise, you could look at other things like maybe you take an Orog or some other thing if you want it to be stronger.
There, Meat Moo, there is a Discord. It is writer/fan made and it exists.
And the link is literally right, two messages below.
Yeah. But which is really cool. And now me and Ted have to learn how to use it.
Yes.
We'll get on that. And Dave time is precious time. Yeah, unfortunately, just Nerdarchy does take up a lot of time.
Yeah, I've got a stack of papers about that I still need to go through that I printed off today. I think it's like half a ream of paper.
Oh. Question from Zarif Gaming: what fun legendary actions can you give Lord Soft for Dragonlance campaign?
Well, I would think whatever it is that you're trying to make him, unique and do. Typically Lord Soth is, fighter, anti-paladin kind of a character.
He's a Death Knight.
So, you're going to give him the kind of actions that would go along with that. So
it could be fear, it could be spell casting, it could be extra attacks.
Yeah, well, a lot of legendary creatures that they can do like a dragon new wing sweep or anything like that. So I would say definitely extra attack and a frightful presence or some kind of thing that causes like some kind of fear effect or something that they can do. That's pretty powerful. Would be something to consider. And I think another one of those Hellball things would be pretty awesome if he could do that.
I think that might be a bit too much. Don't listen to Nate. Well, unless you're trying to destroy your players.
The other thing I was going to suggest would be like that Will-O-Wisp death attack. That would be pretty hot. But that's if you want a pretty nasty game.
So Jinker GM has apparently got some fantastic easy roller dice.
Their first roll was a nat 20. That's right. Easy roller dice all the way. There's a link in the description if you want to roll nat 20s too. Disclaimer: we need to find for it. We cannot guarantee easy roller dice. We're rolling actual 20s for you. Results may vary. Blah 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 blah. Wake up. And then I like Comrade 2261. I thought you said Lord Sloth. He would be an epic villain.
That's another NPC for us to create at some point in time.
Maybe on April Fools.
Yeah, that would actually be a really good April Fools one.
So, we have any other questions out there, guys?
There's one about Critical Role.
But I think that
we're not qualified to answer.
I think the most of the guys out there know our stance there. There's just not time.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon, Matt Mercer is awesome, and what they do over there on Critical Role is great. But we actually don't take in a lot of long form content. We're too busy creating it. Actually, that's why I loved when Matt was doing the GM tips, because I could get the small bites that I could listen to while I was doing other things. A lot of what I do for Nerdarchy is video editing. Or has been video editing, so you cannot listen to videos and watch videos as you edit videos, or bad things happen.
So I wanted to just get an announcement out there, guys. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., we're going to be doing a world build
live chat. Yes,
live chat
for our 9 of the Nag. So we've kind of been on hiatus for a while, and it's coming back. More AC with legendary action. That's actually would be more of a reaction thing. Pardon me, would be more of a reaction thing. I think, if you look at the way monsters are built, and not only that though, I don't know if Death Knights might even have a parry ability, but like if not, you just look at Veteran or one of the other ones that does.
You got the ability to parry to either lessen damage or increase your armor class at the last moment.
Maybe a smite attack.
I think this is a good question for maybe Nate.
Okay.
Vexlight. Why'd you cringe, man?
I laughed because I'm like, okay, what kind of question is this going to be?
What is this going to be? How are they going to humiliate me? Can I ask what you guys thought on a D&D setting, Mistra?
Oh, I really like that setting. I did not get to play much at all in it.
I never did anything with Mistra, to be honest with you.
I hope I'm not getting confused, but I believe there's airships, and I love airships. I think they're magic airships in Mistra.
I have a box set. So many.
Yeah, it's like,
so many campaigns.
I'm trying to see through time here. So
there was Mistra, there was Birthright, there was the Red Masquerade, the Red Mist or something. Like they're all ones that I never really messed with at all.
Well, you got Hollow World, Forgotten Realms, Dragonlance, Ravenloft, Dark Sun.
Yeah, but if Mistra had the airships, I do have the box set. I'm pretty sure they had the airships, and I like those.
Vex. Well, first of all, Vex, I think you've changed your username, and second of all, I'm from the '80s, and everybody was a dude.
Like everybody being a bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, a question from Zach Maples. My players have different hopes for the tone of the game. Some want a serious, crunchy exploration. Others want silly adventure time. Any ideas on how to handle this? I really think that's a session 0. If you guys can't sit down and come to terms, sounds like 2 different games. Because those things don't really mix well.
Was that the Zach Maples?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the tough thing is when they want very different things from the game.
Yeah, and then the people who want the serious crunch are going to be really aggravated with the silly adventure time people.
Yeah, and they're so different. Like, there's definitely some play styles you can mish and mash with,
but serious and silly, they don't mix.
Well, the problem is they ruin each other. That's that kind of. Well, I mean, a little bit of serious and silly can really help accentuate the silly, but silliness in serious play can just like totally bomb the mood.
Did you either of you guys play the AD&D game for NES?
I don't think so.
No, I played things like Dragon Quest on the NES, so did not get to the AD&D game.
I only played fighting games. That's all I really liked, or like Gauntlet. But other than that, like my MO was always like fighting games, Contra maybe, things like more like action games.
Dragon Warrior is a thing that really had me for a while. That's the one that you went to a stair, you went to a doorway, and you had to go to your menu button and select it. You didn't just you walk through a doorway, you don't just automatically go through, or you walk those stairs.
I think I got Dragon Quest and Dragon Warrior mixed up. It's Dragon Warrior.
But you walk into the walls, it's like you. So Meat Moose says, is it better to wait for schedules to sync up, or if one person can't make it, just play without them for that week? Absolutely play without them for a week.
Yeah, you wait for that's how you kill games, groups, is by waiting. Because what's going to happen is, especially if you're all adults, it's really tough to sync schedules. And you know what? We try to go like, this is game night, and set like Ted's is every second Saturday,
and we still got people missing it. So
yeah, mine's every third Saturday. I'm just like, you know what?
And that's taken 3 years to actually get a locked in day.
Yeah, like, can we just do this? Because I'm tired of moving it around, and the problem always ends up being is we don't get people. You don't get people showing up, and we would just never game if that's what we waited for.
We're gonna have an issue in March with the convention.
Yes,
for second Saturday, so we'll have to like warn people ahead of time.
Yeah, well, that stuff's all figure outable.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. Speaking of which, we will actually be at Concoction in Cleveland come March. It's like 9th through the 12th, something like that. But if you Google Concoction Cleveland, it'll come right up. So we're definitely going to be there. Good chances we're going to be at Origins, Gen Con. PAX Unplugged, if they do it in Philly again, absolutely, because it's like right there. I can't see us not going.
You're looking at Gamehole Con.
I'm looking at Gamehole Con. I would like to do Winter Fantasy as well, but that's next month, so that one might be a little bit tight.
Where is that at? Winter Fantasy?
I'm not even sure, to be honest with you.
I want to say Indiana, but I might be just spreading false information. Okay.
Yeah,
it was late last night. I think
fake news.
I think it was late last night when it came up on Discord. So one of our writers was invited to do it.
So Intrepidus says, am I alone in preferring liking to play more seriously? I find myself constantly in situations where the group is constantly inserting levity at every turn.
I think that happens a lot with gamers, and some people are definitely much more serious than others. And I've personally flip-flop back and forth between, depending on where I happen to be at my life. Like, I think if someone has a ton of like really serious shit going on in their life, they might want lighthearted instead, and if, everything's kind of happy-go-lucky, they might be in for some serious. Some people just, they like what they like.
And sometimes you just need a laugh.
That is true. It depends upon, for me, what character I'm playing. If I'm building something that's designed to be serious, it's going to be that. If I'm designing something that's going to be a little bit more lighthearted, well, then he's going to be a mix. But more often than not, I want serious. I don't want a game that's meaningless. If that makes any sense?
Uncle Peter, playing a session tonight after waiting nearly 2 months for schedules to line up, right? And like that can literally be like the death knell of a group. That's why I'm like, you just need to carry on, fuck the story, and
play with who's there.
Play with who's there. Have fun.
A lot of times, I've got 7 players in my game.
If your amazing D&D game becomes a novel, just write them in. That's all. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, just say what they did that time.
I've got 7 players in my game with a couple, possible standees, and I haven't had everyone at the table in months. And half the time I don't even mention where the other person goes unless it automatically comes to me. I just, okay, this is where you're at. And similar to like the gamers, oh yeah, and he's here too. Like,
yeah.
when you weren't there last session,
Steve sleeping in the back or whatever it was. Yeah.
So it's like,
if you want, you can try and find creative ways to insert people, why they're there or why they're not there. But at the end of the day, if that takes up too much time and energy, just
play without it. And we've made mention of that fact many times over the course of different videos, that you just got to keep rolling. It's easier that way.
A couple sessions ago, I had that player didn't show up last minute, and in my mind I was like, oh, all right, well, I'll do this. And like, we were starting with action, so the players started playing. I was going to insert the thing, and I kind of like, they didn't even pay attention to the fact the player wasn't there, and which made me literally forget to mention them not being there. And frankly, like, no one really cares. And I think you're going to find that's the most of it once the things start happening.
Yeah, every once in a while, one of my players will be like, oh, well, where's so and so? And if I've got something cooked up, great. If not, I'm like, oh, you don't know, like, or oh, it's this.
Chris Sawatsky, what is an easy way to spice up a tougher fight for my group? Add legendary actions for the creature, maybe. There's tons of different things. Legendary actions is obviously a way. With our Death Tyrant fight, you kind of did that. I think I've done that. You've done it several times, actually. Like, I want this monster to be tougher. How do I do it? I just add legendary actions.
Yeah. You add legendary actions. You can alter the amount of hit points. You can bump the armor class. You can bump up an attack bonus. Typically, when I do this kind of stuff, I try to do or say something to show that this is above norm, or that this is not the standard thing that you're going to encounter. Like when you guys fought Purple Worm that was sieging Gryffindor, like it had a magic rune that was emblazoned across its head, and it was attacking much faster, or i.e. it had a higher attack bonus against the party. It had other things going on with it besides, but like that's what I remember off the top of my head.
And that's just one thing you could, like, you can add, like people put stuff in the chat. They're all great suggestions. Adding reinforcements, environmental hazards. You know, if you always kind of fight in a plain room, change it up a little.
Yeah, have the monster pick the room in a sense. I mean, when we fought the Death Tyrant, it was 70 feet in the air, and there were just pillars that we could hide behind. That was our only cover. We were on flying mounts, so you lost your mount. You were taking a lot of damage when you hit the ground.
Yeah, so you know you could do things. Maybe there's lava lakes or streams that you have to jump from island to island. You know, whatever would be interesting. You know, fighting on a huge, massive pile of coins. It's considered difficult terrain. Or you know, maybe they have to make acrobatics checks or dex checks every once in a while, where they slip and slide. Maybe they'll take damage, but you know, now instead of being at the top of the mountain, they're at the bottom. Yeah, you know, 30 feet away from the bad guy.
Or they're prone in front of a red dragon. You know?
Yeah, all of which could be fun ways of doing it. Someone had asked about adding a new player to the game.
Duel 810. How do you personally handle a new player joining an already long time existing party?
Well, if you're saying new player, like they haven't played the game before, as fast as possible. Show them that the game is fun and that they're going to play the game and not have them wait around and watch everyone else play the game.
Sit them next to your most veteran, experienced player who knows enough of the game to be able to guide them through their character sheet and their actions, that you can trust that they're going to help that player and elevate them. If you're just talking about, hey, there's somebody who's played before that wants to join in, bring them into the table. If you're talking about how do I insert the character into the ongoing story, well, that's just a matter of, well, where are they? Are they in town and they're, you know, are they possibly on the same quest and they can join up? Are they exploring a dungeon and, oh, this person's a prisoner. They could free him, and, well, for freeing me, let me aid you in your quests. I mean, there's tons of stuff that can be done.
There can be. Just be careful. Like if you don't think that they're going to get into the game for like 2 hours into the session, do not invite them at the beginning. Like, or at least warn them, you know, so they're not sitting there doing nothing. But I prefer to just get them playing as fast as possible. You know, I've done so many sessions where you're getting the group together or you're adding a player and they spend most of their night just watching other people play the game. Yeah, that's horrible.
We've had times where, like, you know, a single session was like a 5-player game. Everybody got 45 minutes of a solo quest to get everyone to a specific spot. And then now the game is going to start. Like, that doesn't need to be done at the table.
And if they're coming into a group where everyone's 10th or 15th level or whatever already, they've got a lot of history with those characters. So you want to give the person a good entrance, I think.
I see a great question for Nate. James, I have a question for you guys. How do you handle a player who constantly loses his character sheet? We've tried paper and digital now. Level 17 is a guy who still loses his PC between every adventure.
All right. If the DM, I mean, I'm just saying, I know a guy. If the DM has a printer and he is willing to accept a fee for printing the character sheet, email him an update or share it on Google Drive or something where you can get access digitally at any time to that character and come early to the session. I know for some reason this is, you know, coming early to the session and remember to email this probably sounds easier than remembering your dang character sheet for some reason, but it's what I found helps for this guy I know.
And or maybe the DM will keep his character for him or a copy of his character. So, I mean, when we game, my son always just hands me his character sheet at the end of the session, and I put it in my character folder.
I'm lucky. I game here, so like if I need a character sheet, I just print it off the computer. But for
previously, though, you used to keep them all in notebooks, and occasionally you would lose the notebook.
Oh,
You're like, no.
That's a horrid thing. I used to, you know, the typical ye old bound notebooks. Yeah. This is what I would write my 3rd edition and 2nd edition characters in. With the later games, you actually had the character sheets, or we used character sheets then. Now I actually have a 3-ring binder that I get the page storage sheets, and I store everything in those. This way, if I have any notes or stuff that I want to put in there with that, and it doesn't fit on the character sheet, I got plenty of space. Every so many levels, I go in and update the character digitally, and then reprint, and he just goes in front. The old character sheets are there for reference in case there's an issue. I can turn to the back and use those as note sheets as well. It's lots of great stuff for not losing characters.
Yeah. I only remember you losing your character sheet one time, but it was like there was your notebook and it was like all of the characters. Ted's usually really organized and good with that stuff. And I've always done the same thing. Either in I keep them in notebooks or a folder. Digital is great because it's like I've always got a copy digitally somewhere, maybe several.
Right.
So that's really helpful. We're more than halfway through, so we might as well give something away.
All right. So we showed off the battle mat, the decks of cards, the dice, and the markers, and that is going to Fragginator.
Whoa. I know that guy online.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
congrats, Raghaven. I'm pretty sure you're in the chat.
Yeah. We probably have your email somewhere and stuff like that as well. It's always really cool for us when we get to give it away to someone who we've interacted with a lot, and we've been interacting with Fragginator a lot over the past year or two. So it's always really cool. But, as always, guys, if you want to be eligible, automatic entry, if you're a Patreon for $1, just a minimum of $1, or you can just go to the website, find the form, fill it out, and mail it in every month, and you're eligible as well. And we usually give out, decent stuff, and usually the value is like $30 or more.
So I will contact you, Fragginator, and get your address to be able to send that out. I don't have to worry about, will I get a response? Because
where will I find this person?
Yeah, he already said thanks in the chat. So.
Yeah.
I had kind of hinted at like, hey, you gonna be on the chat today? And he's like, why? I'm like, yeah, got a lucky number.
just curious.
Yeah. Frag is in there a lot. See, Elfbait, he's got to head off to work. Works for suckers.
That's what we're doing, dude.
I'm not working. I'm hanging out. I'm hanging out with like
he's getting paid.
I'm hanging out with like 50 of my closest friends or something. I don't know how many people are watching.
85.
85. Yeah, 85 of my closest friends plus these guys.
I wonder how many of those 85 count as us.
3.
3 at the max.
Yeah.
So.
4?
No, maybe. I don't think we're open over there anyways, but it could happen.
Well, we didn't hear any echo, so we know that at least is.
Yeah, it's at least silenced if it is open. So that's cool. And in a little while, we'll announce the winner for the D&D Beyond, and that's just through Gleam. And every once in a while, we like to throw those contests out as well. And that's basically you just fill out the Gleam thing and get however many entries you get.
So John Clark wants to know, I am DMing a campaign and I feel like I'm rushing through the story. Do you have some ideas for some good side quests?
I did see that one. So I feel like a lot of times in my games, the side quests naturally come up and main plots as well. Like, so in my Scarlet Sisterhood game, it was like they were chasing a crime lord and they just finally caught up to him and did away with him. But in the meantime, like the hags, they encountered these hags, so that's like a major quest. The Monarch was a major quest. Turns out that one of the players, their husbands' families involved with Fae and Warlock packs, and now that's kind of a main quest as well. So then they also, amongst all of this, they would find themselves taking baths whenever they were back in town. It's a luxury that adventurers don't often get to enjoy. So they decided to build a bathhouse, and their bathhouse kind of got infested with infested with creatures from the plane of elemental fire. Because you got to heat that bathwater somehow.
That's true.
Yeah. So I don't know. Side quests just seem to happen in my game.
So part of what you're saying without really saying it is side quests are going to come about by player goals and character desires.
Having things for your players to interact with just makes side quests happen.
So if you ask, what does your character want? Like, what are the things that they're looking for? Like, you've got the ability to slow down the story while they go off and do this. If there's nothing to achieve at this moment, well, then there's time to figure out what that is. Like in Dave's game, we haven't played in a couple months, and he's like, well, you guys are going to have a year off. Well, you tell a character who's got the ability to cast Temple of the Gods that he's got a year to do something. Well, guess what? He's getting a temple.
Yeah, I mean, like I think you're thinking a little bit too hard. Like, Yeah, just keep having like one of the side quests that is about to have, or my players are in the middle of it now, right? Like they wanted to figure out, well, how do we need someone that knows something about elementals. And they're like, hey, didn't we meet an orc woman in town? And aren't orcs kind of like shamanistic and naturey? So maybe she knows someone. And then like they got like the orc's life story, and they're like, and they're gonna go visit the witch doctor from that tribe. Well, now they're supposed to take the information they got from this orc woman and give it to them, like basically send letters or whatever back home. But they, in the meantime, solve the problem. They don't need to do that anymore. But they made a promise to go, to basically deliver these letters. And so now they're in the process of doing that. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. They just happen in my game. Side quests like I said, you just have to put interesting nuggets out there for your players, and if they bite on them, they bite on them.
Yeah, you'll never know what they're gonna.
Yeah, you don't even have to flush it out. Just like throw things out there, give them things to interact with. Like my players love to go to the Grove of the Guardian, and deal with this nature spirit, and they've also like transported and transplanted a bunch of pixies that now live there, so they always want to go back and visit them. So it's just about like getting them to tie into your world, and that's where the side quests will kind of come from.
You've also got the ability to tie into the characters' backstories and the things that have already happened, and see how they're going to be affected by what's going on now. So if you've got a rival or a foil that has been created for a character, well, they have the ability to insert themselves in what's going on, and well, now we need to deal with this thing before we can continue on with the story.
So, Frank, I've been out of the game since 2012. Y'all are seriously making me think about getting back in. Do it. You want to. I can't think of a better way to spend my time than with some friends rolling funny shaped dice and playing make believe, to be honest with you.
And eating pizza or chicken wings or whatever you're gonna.
Yeah, whatever we happen to be eating at the time.
It's a good hangout session. Plus play.
Zach Maples wanted to know what was the favorite character we ever watched someone else play. I'm going to go hands down the android that Will Jones played. I think he cheated by being part android himself, but that character was hilarious. And he was in love with the ship AI, and kept like macking on the ship AI throughout that adventure. That was pretty funny.
I'm pretty fond of Giles.
Giles was a good one.
Yeah. Recently I liked Harold, Bugbear Butler. That was really good.
Oh yes,
from Think Geek.
Yeah, Harold. Yeah,
that's Bianca, right?
That was Bianca. Yes. She did an awesome job playing that Bugbear. Yeah. He was hilarious. Him trying to give his resume to the vampire, like throwing the party, was amazing.
You don't fit the mold of these. You might have to shave.
Yeah. So there's been so many fun characters over the years that we've been lucky enough to have at the table. And
I really like
both in and out of the game.
Yeah, I really liked Ryan's portrayal, Eighth Zenith.
Oh yeah, for the Spelljammer game.
Who was what? Like a spoof off of Zap Brannigan, from Futurama.
His Griffin Steed, I believe, was wiser than him.
Yeah. It was great. It was just really good fun with him.
I think he had a 10 intelligence and an 8 wisdom. So
Mike Ramsey, I'm going to DM Horde of the Dragon Queen for the first time. Any tips? Read it, make it your own, and have fun. Like, don't overthink it. Don't worry about it. Hey, Nubs is in the chat. What's up, Nubs?
Oh,
yeah. Don't worry about cramming every little thing they've got available into it, because that might be too much combat for your group or not enough based on the adventure.
That's them talking, but I'm curious what they're talking about now because I'm past that part.
Oh, hey, Steve.
So let's see. We are 3/4 of the way through. Let's give away the other thing.
All right. So we talked about the 50K subscribers on YouTube, and we did a Gleam contest, and we are giving away, thanks to the awesome people over at D&D Beyond, a legendary bundle, and that is going to Jacob Toffer. So awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, we just need to get your Twitch username. We're going to contact you via email, and if you already happen to have D&D Beyond, you can actually just gift it away if you want as well. That it we greatly enjoy it. We love it, and it's only going to get better. I mean, we were actually fortunate enough to sit down at PAX Unplugged with Adam Bradford and discuss all the plans they have for D&D Beyond. We got a sneak peek at the app and how it looks in there, and how it's basically like using a PDF, maybe slightly better. That you had the page turning to it, and it looked great. So they got a lot of stuff going on with that. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, I use that all the time.
Scott Pasarki question: has anyone looked at Xanathar's Lost Notes to everything else from the GM's Guild? Kind of flipped through it. There's some really fun and interesting ideas and creative stuff in there. We've had at least 2 of the authors from it on the channel for live chats where they talk about it. We've had James Intercosta on, which turns out he's like my freaking neighbor, lives right next door. And also Lisa was on as well, the D&D Adventure League community manager, took over for Robert Ducci. She's also involved on that project, and she also is another Jerseyite. She lives like an hour and a half from us, so that was really cool too. Like, we're finding all these cool places that are local.
Those were within the last couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if you jump back, you can be able to find those pretty easily. You want to check out those live chats.
Yeah, I mean, we always have fun, interesting, cool people popping in to talk about different things. Yesterday we had someone from I think the Netherlands on, and he actually has a Kickstarter that's going on right now. It's in the description. You can find the link to that, On the Shoulders of Heroes. And that's actually for 3.5 if you're playing 3.5. Wow. Yeah, well, he's like, well, we've been doing this campaign for 8 years. I've been working on it, and it was done, and we weren't really interested in 4th edition, and 5th came out. Maybe we'll update it. Like, he plays 5th edition as well as other games. He also plays 3rd edition and other games. So it's like, it was done. So they threw it out there.
I think it's an easy conversion from 3.5 to
but it's like a Viking themed campaign setting.
There's lots of people who still play 3.5. There's lots of people who play Pathfinder, and they kind of work well together. So
I mean, there's people still playing 1st edition and 2nd edition. So there's a game
editions.
There is a game for everyone. So is Jacob in the chat? I see the congratulations to Jacob.
They might just be.
Yes. Very well, but we'll email him. Cool prize, cool deal.
I'll get in touch with you soon, dude.
So, Nate, you said you're running your game this weekend.
Yes, tomorrow.
All right.
Sunday.
Nice. Also, too, we're looking at 2018 and trying to figure out some things, and maybe doing more live plays on the interwebs. And we're also considering, we have like a couple dozen followers over on Twitch, of maybe like actually like dusting off our Twitch channel and start putting our live stuff that we do over there.
Get out the little dust brush.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get away from Google Hangouts, so that would be helpful for lives.
Well, I mean, there's more tech involved. You're gonna probably Twitch has its own problems sometimes.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
But we're kind of like locusts. We just move into an area, devour, and move on. Except for we don't actually move on. We stay in all the areas. Maybe it's more like creep from Zergs.
Yeah,
we're creep.
Zerging.
So we're like, maybe we'll creep over there as well.
We're nerdsing.
But we already have 2 live play games that we do, so it'd just be moving those over. And then we're talking about adding some more. Chief Nerd Editor Doug wants to do some live plays during the day, so he's got a weird work schedule, so he's thinking about, well, maybe if I can put something together online. So we're looking at doing that, and who knows where it'll go from there. FGC in the house, they've been summoned. Zareth Gaming, Zerg Rush, that the latest incarnation of StarCraft got me so tempted to come back to video gaming. I mean, Overwatch looks pretty cool too. My son just started playing that, but I'm like, I can't do it. I'll be like, "Ugh," and then like you guys will never get any more content again from me. I'll be done. I'm like, I'm just doing video games. Ted will be like, are we gonna make some videos? I'm busy here.
I got stuff to do.
I got stuff to do.
Dave used to play the heck out of League of Legends, and years before that was StarCraft.
Yeah, I just had to go cold turkey. It was the only way. You must construct more pylons.
I used to play some League of Legends, and I realized that it was stealing my soul, and I'm like, I need to actually do the job that's paying me.
Yeah. There's some incriminating things I won't mention live. Now if Ted wants to mention them, he can. or Ted's boss, stop watching. See, on there, a friend of mine runs a 2E game right now. Thaco, man. What does that mean, Ted?
2-hit AC 0.
Oh yeah.
I played that game for years, not realizing that that's what Thaco meant. I thought it was just a thing. Oh, it's a Thaco. Yep. Embarrassing Ted secrets.
Chris Washington, what is a core that a DM needs for info to provide players at the start of a game? I have a mythos, kingdoms breakdown by race, multi-guild structures, and underground black market setup. All of that, but in triplicate. No, you got way more than enough to start a game. We've started with far less.
It's like, I think I got an NPC name in a town. Let's go.
Let's rock. We may fly by the seat of our pants a little bit. Vex Light wants to know, what is your favorite big boss monster and why?
That's difficult. I think it's going to change for each party. I don't have anything that's like I really want to use over and over again.
Yeah,
Aboleth. I fantasize about always using Aboleth. I never do though, because I know I will kill the party.
You and tentacles, man. You and tentacles.
And they are an aberration that happens to have tentacles. Thank you very much. It can't help itself.
I don't know if I've ever fought an Aboleth.
They're terrible. You could end up a Scoom or whatever they're called.
Scum. Yeah.
Scum.
Scum. I like Scum. I don't think
I was channeling Dave there for a moment.
I don't think it's actually pronounced the way it's spelled anyway, because didn't it used to have like the weird symbols over it?
I think
something?
so. Yeah. The umlauts or something, right?
Yeah. I don't know exactly what that means, but
I don't know what umlauts do. I just know they change stuff.
Umlaut. Scum. Yeah, so I don't know, favorite monster villain. Oh, man, it's like the one I'm using. Like I have fun with using so many different villains, and the reason why they're my favorite is because I'm using them at the time. I've usually found a way to make them personal to the party. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what I like doing. When you can put together, some baddies that aren't just there to show up for a fight and have your players kill them, but for them to hang out for a little while and have your players really loathe them.
I enjoyed using the Death Tyrant. That was a fun encounter, but it's not like I am itching to use a Death Tyrant again.
Well, it'd be kind of rough, I think.
You've done that. You did it. You did it.
You move on to the next thing.
It's like your most favorite monster is the one that you're trying to kill a party with right now.
That's a good way of saying it.
Yeah, I had fun using troglodytes for a while just because I hadn't really used them, and then one of my players wants to interact with them, and I would come up with things like the villains that were using the troglodytes. They would have these like snuff containers with like this Vaseline stuff they would put under their nose, so they would have to smell them. I'm working on Stanley the Beholder right now, which the players want to free from his prison, and he's really nice with them. And he said half the party really likes him and thinks he's a good guy, and they want to help him out, and the other half of the party's like, he's a monster. Or when the party's like fighting a frost giant, and he's got Yeti babies that he's got in a cage. And some of the party want to free them, and some of the party like, they're monsters, right? They're going to grow up and eat people, but they're babies.
They're the terrible stories about travelers in the mountains that get eaten. Those are the things that eat them.
Yeah, so
But they're babies.
I have so much fun with the different monsters for a different reason, and it comes down to like, can you give that monster a personality and make it just not a stat block?
Yeah, how real can you make it to the party?
So that makes it a lot more fun. Stanley needs to call the players true believers. He will, just before he devours their face. Well, and that's what's fun about that party too, is like the certain hotkeys for that party. I just know how they're going to respond, and when you can find that for your different groups, I think that's another thing that's going to help you kind of key on what villains to use.
Oh, the child wraith things. Ugh. That you had. I was cringing the whole time.
You're like, they're going to want to help that.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no. I can see the halfling now being level drained to death, or whatever wraiths do in this edition. Be like, that child's going to give you a special hug and you're not going to like it, halfling.
Oh, man, someone's channeling 3rd edition, half fiend or
Rakshasa,
Lich Sorcerer.
Oh, jeez.
That seems like a channel in some third edition for sure.
Well, so they're half Rakshasa then, because aren't the Rakshasa are fiends?
They are fiends.
What's the other half? Dragon, perhaps.
Well, it's got to be half something.
When a dragon and a Rakshasa love each other very much,
And they're attacked by a vampire.
and then their progeny is turned into a lich.
Oh yeah, I remember that chat. That was a great idea. Duel 18. Nerdarchy inspired me to turn Stilgar into a hidden aboleth. that is truly amazing. You get to the end of the fight, you think it's over, you defeated the Beholder, and then his goldfish turns into an aboleth. Good times were had by all.
Yeah, you don't know how many times that attacked by a vampire thing winds up coming up. Back in 3rd edition with templates, you could do all kinds of crazy stuff, and we would do that. I just add this template on. Listen, how can you be something half this, half that?
Well, when a troll and a dragon love each other very much and then are attacked by vampires.
That's how it works. So Tegan wants to know, what do I do when my player has a really good armor and none of my monsters can hit him? Ted.
Rust Monster.
I think they would still have to hit it, but
probably if they've got really good armor, it's because they dumped dex and they're in heavy plate. So dex-based save attacks.
Or intelligence if they dumped intelligence.
Or intelligence attacks.
And then turn them against the party, and then the party can have fun trying to hit them.
Yeah.
Also, what else was it? Oh, Magic Missile never misses.
Magic Missile never misses. Area effects attacks, even if they pass their saves, they're taking half damage. So you're still hurting them. Worst case scenario,
grapple.
Grapple can work. I was going to say just beat up the rest of the party. So he's the lone survivor. He can't carry everybody. He can't save everybody.
Yeah,
they all died. You weren't good enough. No, but grapple is based off of athletics. It has nothing to do with your armor class. Then you can knock them prone and stuff. Someone can hold them down while everybody else hits them.
Oh, he's on the ground. I got an advantage.
Exactly. And as eventually you get to a point where your armor class just doesn't get high enough anymore because of bounded accuracy, but a giant still gets plus like 10 or 13 to hit you. So I mean that's still hitting a 25 with a 12. So it's not eventually you get the monsters catch up, is what I'm saying. They catch up. That's when you need to give them disadvantage as the player, though. So this way to fix that, or you need to blink out of existence so you're not there to target. And use magic and use mirror image
and shield, as Dave does.
I am that character, but he doesn't have a lot of hit points. That's all he's got going for him, really. Half dragon, half demon, half vampire, half angel.
Yeah, just commented that sounds like the start of a teen novel.
Yeah. So we are right up on the hour mark, gentlemen. Once again,
that went by fast.
It always does. With that, guys, thanks for hanging out. We appreciate you guys. Congratulations to the winners, and we'll be here next week doing the same thing. Come hang out with us for the live chat.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
And until next time,
stay nerdy.